let's reset things quickly. This series has very much been around why I'm doing this, the risk attached to it, and the ultimate decision to leave corporate life. But this episode's going to be a little bit different. Today what I want to do is show you exactly what I'm doing behind the scenes ahead of our launch. Not the highlight reel, not the launching soon version, but the real work. I'm going to walk you through exactly how the product is taking shape, why I'm deliberately batch contenting stuff ahead of time, what it really takes to line up a promo when everything is going wrong, and interestingly, the confidence shift that has happened since this has suddenly started to become real. And right at the end, I'm going to explain the one thing that I'm deliberately leaving until last when most people probably would have started with it, and why I think that's a decision that will matter more than anything else. This is the messy middle, and this is where things finally start moving. If you're new here, this is episode 7 of Diary of a CGO. My name's Niall and I'm building a golf community app in public with all the messy bits in between. We are following my life after corporate, after burnout, and all the behind the scenes in the run up to launch. Up until now, this journey has largely been in my head. It's been reflective. But now as we get closer to launch, things are starting to get real. Real work is being done. And that's what I want to show you today. What is actually happening on a day-to-day basis, what I'm focused on, and what we need ahead of this launch in a couple of weeks' time. The biggest shift recently has been this. Skratchr is no longer abstract. We know what it's going to be. We know how it's going to work. What I'm spending my time on now is how a human is going to actually interact and engage with it. I am literally drawing the app. I'm sketching screens, I am mapping flows, thinking about what people tap and then where that goes and what comes next. I'm using Visibly to build all of this out, and my developer is building it exactly as I design it. And this is where things kind of slow down a little bit, but in a good way, because I need to visually understand exactly how somebody is going to work through this product. Because when you build something on screen, you stop asking, is this a good idea? You start asking, does this make sense? Is this obvious? And would they know where to tap next if nobody was standing beside them? For example, there was a screen very early on that I loved, but when I sat back from it and I looked at it, I kind of thought to myself, look, this is clever, this is clean, but people won't intuitively understand what to do next. So it got cut. That's the stage we're at now, killing the good ideas that are too confusing, and we're focusing on the stuff that really, really matters, and that's starting to get really exciting. And as I get closer to launch, it's becoming critically obvious to me that both time and attention are really becoming scarce resources. Not motivation, not ideas, but actually trying to make sure I have the time available to me to deliver on what needs to be done over the next 8 weeks. Which is why I've made a decision that probably looks a little bit boring on the surface of things, but is critically important. Content matters. I'm not going to pretend for a second that it doesn't. But content is also the thing that quietly eats away all your attention, all your time. And right now, because the weather is just terrible, to be honest with you, I'm trying to batch content as much as I possibly can. Daily posts, multiple formats, not because I love grinding it out, but because I don't want the content to distract me when I need to focus entirely on the app. This is me basically trying to buy back future attention, so that when things get busy, and they're going to get busy, I'm not going to be waking up thinking, I need to post something today, because it'll already be done. It's not glamorous, but it's calm, and calm is good at that time. The next thing I didn't fully appreciate before was that none of this happens without people. The product doesn't exist without users, and the launch doesn't exist without people willing to turn up, which brings me to the messiest part of all of this. And that's that I'm currently trying to line up people to be part of the promo videos. And this is not as clean as you would expect it to be. It's writing prompts, it's finding people willing to be in the video, it's coordinating schedules and figuring out how these pieces actually fit together. All the time while it's lashing rain outside, I'm waiting on camera equipment to turn up, and half the time plans just don't align. This is the stuff that you usually don't see behind the scenes. This is the stuff that usually doesn't make it into launch announcements. No big breakthroughs, no big wins. But the one thing I'll say is that the community so far has been incredible. I've had about 7 or 8 different people all reaching out to me, telling me that they'd be more than happy for me to come and film them and be part of that entire process. You see, Skratchr was always meant to be a community-driven project. It was always meant to be the community coming together, wanting to play more golf. So many people have been so incredible so far. I just need to get them on camera. But while we're waiting for all these things to perfectly align, this is what we call momentum. This is what we call building. And yes, look, it'll be a complete headache trying to put them all together into promo videos at a later stage, but That's all going to be part of the fun of this as well. And it's also a reason why we're doing all that other content in advance. Something I expect to happen through all of this, I started getting more comfortable talking about Skratchr to strangers. Before, it felt fragile, like I was asking people to believe in something half-formed. But now, I can actually show what's coming. I can describe it clearly. I'm not apologizing for it anymore. That confidence didn't come from mindset work. It came from actually doing the work. From seeing this turn into something real. And that's been a bigger shift than I ever expected. And that, of course, brings us nicely back to the thing I deliberately haven't rushed. Marketing. I'm not currently running ads, I'm not chasing growth hacks, and I'm definitely not doing the classic launch playbook. Instead, I'm slowly mapping who this is actually for, where those people already are, and how to introduce Skratchr without shouting. And that's probably a whole episode on its own, but at the moment I'm resisting the urge to go out there shouting and being loud and annoying, because realistically, Skratchr has one chance to make a first impression. And while all of you are part of this journey, you're part of the process and the build, there are so many other people who have never heard of it before. So that's why I really want to get this right. That is what getting ready for a launch looks like for me. Probably very different to what proper tenured people are doing, but that's what I'm doing. No chaos, no crazy hustle, just steady, deliberate movement. And it's great because it feels like everything is pointing in the same direction, which is exactly what you want at this stage, I think. And if you stick around for the next couple of episodes, it probably will get a little bit more chaotic, especially when we put this into the wild, when people finally get their hands on it. But that's all part of the fun, and that's why I'm doing this in front of everybody. So if you're curious about how this all unfolds, please subscribe, share, comment, get involved. And if you've ever built something or wanted to build something, you might recognize this stage. And if you have, let me know in the comments so I'm not completely alone here. Every day that passes, we're getting closer, and that is exciting.